Hello, this is Miss Moore, and today during chemistry we're going to discuss formula mass. Today's essential question: what is formula mass and how is it calculated? Please make sure you completely answer the essential question as part of your summary. For today's lecture, you're going to need handy your scientific calculators and your periodic tables. Let's start with a quick review of atomic mass. Atoms of different elements have different atomic masses. And this is because the mass of a single atom is the number of protons and, or plus, the number of neutrons in the nucleus. Average atomic mass is the mass found on the periodic table, and it is a calculated average mass of an element. And the unit used for atomic mass, which means the mass of a single atom, or the average atomic mass, is AMU, atomic mass units. All right, on to the new stuff, formula mass. So formula mass is the mass of a molecule or compound, so multiple atoms hooked together. And so remember that a formula describes what atoms and how many of each make up a molecule or compound. So an example of a formula is the formula for water, H2O. And from the formula we can see that water is made up of 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. All right, so now how do you calculate formula mass? It's really easy. You simply add up the atomic masses, or the average atomic mass found on the periodic table, for each atom present in the molecule or compound. Really, really easy. Okay, let's try this. Let's actually find out or calculate the formula mass for the compound calcium nitrate. So the first step is to figure out what exactly calcium nitrate is made out of. Well, it's made out of 1 calcium, and because there's a 2 there, we know it's also made up of 2 nitrates. Furthermore, nitrate is actually made up of 1 nitrogen and 3 oxygens. There are 2 nitrates, so we need 1 more nitrogen and 3 more oxygens. So for nitrates total, we end up with a total of 2 nitrogens and 6 oxygens. Okay, that seems like a long process to figure out how many nitrogens and oxygens there are in nitrate. So an easier way to do this is to look at how many nitrates we have, and in this case 2, and the number outside the parentheses, just like in math, distributes. So 2 times 3, so we have a total of 6 oxygens, and 2 times for the nitrogen, ooh, that was a mess, let's try that again. For the nitrogen, we have 2 times 1, so we have 2 oxygens. So that's a way easier way to figure out how many nitrogens and oxygens we have in this polyatomic ion. Okay, so now let's make a list of all of the atoms present in our compound. So we have 1 calcium, and we decided we have, for nitrogen, we decided we had 2 nitrogens. And for oxygens, we decided we had 6 of those. Next, let's go through to the periodic table and figure out the average atomic mass for calcium, nitrogen, and oxygen. So calcium has an average atomic mass of 40.08 AMU. Nitrogen has an atomic mass of 14.01 AMU. And oxygen has an average atomic mass of 16.00 AMU. All right, the next step is to, well, let me make a little room here. So the next step is to take all of these masses and add them up. And be really careful with your calculator so you don't make an error. And when I added all of these up, I came up with 164.9 40.1 AMU. So while the mass of a single calcium is 40.08 AMU, we've got the mass, we know the mass of nitrogen and the mass of oxygen, all of that's on the periodic table. We put them all together, the mass of this whole thing here of calcium nitrate is 164.1 AMU. That's really all there is to formula mass. Not too hard. Okay, let's try one more problem. Actually, this time, why don't you try the problem by yourself? So hit pause, try it, and then hit play and see how you did. Okay, so to figure out the formula mass of ammonium phosphate, we got to figure out how many N's we have, how many H's, how many P's, and how many O's. And we note that we have 3 ammoniums and 1 phosphate. So I'm going to take this 3 here and distribute it to the N and to the H. So that's going to give me 3 times 1 for the N. That's going to give me a total of 3 N's. And 3 times 4 for the H's is going to give me a total of 12 H's. Okay, so now I will list out my atoms. And I have 3 N's. And I have 12 H's. And I have 1 P and 4 O's. Next, I'm going to look on the periodic table to find the average atomic mass for each of the atoms I have listed. So I know nitrogen is 14.01 AMU, and hydrogen is 1.01 AMU. Phosphorus has an average atomic mass of 30.97 AMU, and oxygen 16.00 AMU. Okay, now we need to add all of this up to get the formula mass for ammonium phosphate, and that gave me 149.12 AMU. Okay, that's really all there is to formula mass. It's really easy. You just need to be careful when you put your stuff in your calculator. All right, that's it for today. Have a good one.